Welcome back to the Vega Chronicles. It's been a little bit longer than I wanted, but I'm back. A couple new subscribers asked me if I could fill them in on the details of the Vega, so let me get them up to snuff right now, and then I'll fill you guys in where I've been. Okay, it's a 72 Vega, 383 stroker motor, 350 trans, 350 turbo trans, 8 3/4 Mopar rear. The 383 stroker has a little over 10.5 to 1 compression. I run pump gas. I have some cheap Chinese heads on it, aluminum heads. I mean, they do the job. They do pretty good. I just got done putting switching out to another 350 turbo trans. It has a manual reverse valve body, and I just got it in, and I'm about ready to take it for a test drive. I messed around with it a little bit, got the linkage just right, tightened up the shifter, did a few things to it, so I'm kind of anxious to take it out and give it a little whirl. I got a new converter also. Old converter was about 3,500 to 4,000 stall speed. This is around the same, right around the same. A little bit better converter than I had before. Hopefully it'll do a little bit better job. I think some of my problems I had was with the converter. I think, again, I'm still kind of new to this, but I think the converter is going to help a little bit. And if you've been watching the show, you know I'm shooting for that elusive 10s, at least elusive to me. I know I can do it with this setup in the car. I'm almost positive, or I am positive. I can do it with this car. And I think that's one of the reasons why I spent some time changing out the transmission. I'm pretty sure the old transmission wasn't bad. It's still a good turbo. I'm not going to get rebuilt at this point. It's still good. It's a good backup to have. But the shifts were a little slower, not really super crisp, and it was doing good. I mean, I don't want to put down my old Soldier. It did good, but I got a brand new shiny built transmission in there. So I'm looking forward to testing it out on the racetrack. Now, again, I'm going shooting for the elusive 10s. I really think that should be relatively, I don't want to say easy, but I should be able to get it. And after that, after I raced a couple times with this setup in it, with the new trans and stuff, I got a couple of tricks up my sleeve I want to try. I definitely want to mess around with the heads a little bit. Again, they're a Chinese head. There's aluminum head. It's decent head. I mean, you get good performance out of it. I can't complain. But I just think a little bit of head work, it'll go a long way. That's what I'm counting on. And plus with the carburetor, fine-tuned the carburetor a little bit. Towards the end of the season last year, how the time was, I just didn't have a lot of time to do what I wanted to the car. I was just anxious to get down the track because I just knew for sure I could get that 10th or 2 off the time to get in the 10s, and I wasn't really fine-tuning. I really kind of lacked the detail and the adjustments and stuff like that. So I really didn't go after it that good. So I think now, be a little bit refreshed coming out for the winter time, I think I'm ready to give it a go again. Now, again, the people who've been watching this channel, I got the 57 Chevy here. Let me show you that. My wife just washed it the other day. It's nice and shiny and sparkly, and I haven't forgotten that either. So now I'm juggling 2 cars. Yeah, I don't know how people do it, to tell you the truth. I know people with a whole garage full of 5, 6, 7 cars. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how they keep each one up to snuff. But just juggling 2, this is enough for me. This is more than plenty for me. One of the things I am shooting for also, or I'm planning on, is next month, Ocean City, Maryland. They have the big cruise week. Went down there last year for the fall cruise. This is a spring cruise. I'm really thinking I'm taking this down. I think this is what I'm taking down. Maybe that. Not so sure. All depend on which one I'm going to be more comfortable with driving around. The 57 drives real good. I got to do some carburetor work to the 57. just and maybe a tune-up and a couple things like that. I got to do to that. But I want to make sure if I'm cruising around down there, whatever car I'm taking is going to be reliable. Because if you're Ocean City, Maryland is definitely something that you got to try. If you're from my area, from East Coast, Northern East Coast, Ocean City, Maryland, and if you're into cars, the scene is unbelievable. Last year I was down, or last fall I was down, and I didn't take a car, but my son's been going for quite a few years, and I heard about it, and I heard other people talk about it, and this and that. I said, yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay, that's cool. You go down there, it is unreal. It is unreal, the cars you see. It's unreal, some of the crazy killer cars down there. It's just an event that if you're into cars, you're from this area, like I said, you should really try to get there and go see it. But okay, I'm about ready to take this car for a ride. I'm gonna go get gas actually, because I'm not sure how much gas I have in it. The gas gauge isn't working, and I'm planning on addressing that at some point. But okay, let's see how this new transmission works out for me. I'll take you for a ride. Okay, so let's take this for a ride. Let's get some gas. Let's see how this new transmission works out. A little nervous. A little bit nervous. Okay, it goes in reverse. All right. Going to get gas right now, so I'm killing two birds with one stone. First gear. So this is all going to be backwards for me now. Reverse manual valve body. So I gotta really think right now. I gotta think while I'm driving. Which ain't a good thing for me. First. Second. All right. This transmission does not have engine braking. So when I put it in first, second, or if I would accidentally put it in first, it won't throw me through the windshield. Alright. First ride with the Vega this year. Oh, you know what? Be celebrating so fast. while, man. I'll tell you what, it's been a while. So, other than transmission, I love driving this car. I love it now. I mean, of course I love the transmission, but other than the transmission, I feels like I never stopped driving it. Seems like it's been a long winter too. Let me get some gas. I didn't know how much gas I have in it from last year. Why is all the traffic come now? I gotta do some fine tuning this carburetor. It's definitely running rich right now at idle. That shifting's nice. Wow. There's no hesitation there at all. Dang, that's cool. It's about all I want out of it tonight. I just want to take it for a little test ride, get the bumps out of it a little bit. You definitely feel that converter a little bit more. The converter, you can feel when it's pulling out. It doesn't kick in right away, which is nice. It's not too bad, you know. Some cars that run like a 5,000 stall speed and you can really hear it. I don't want that. I want to drive it on the street real nice. So I think I picked a pretty decent converter for it, for what I'm looking to do. Although, you know what? How fast you go, you always want to go fast. I love this car. I love this freaking car. I love my 57. That's my first love. I love this car. Change too, as a new oil change. I adjusted the carburetor a little bit. I want to do a better job at that. Yeehaw! My wife's not here to guide me in. Ever hear people talk about being codependent on somebody? Well, it's way more worse than being codependent. I don't even know what you call it. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, this thing's running rich. But it runs pretty good. I don't know, you gotta find that. Runs pretty good. I mean, once you open it up, it runs really good. I gotta find that. Get to stop running so rich at idle. I really got to do some work on carburetors now, or do some. There's enough online now. I should be able to adjust a little bit better. Before it was good enough, now it's not good enough. Now I gotta fine tune it. Now with this new transmission and having some couple little tricks up my sleeve I want to do with the heads and a couple little things. I want to. I'll keep you posted, and the 57 too. So I'm gonna be busy guy. Okay, I'll keep you up to date. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so let's dig into the Vega a little bit. What I did to it over the winter time. One of the first things I did was put the new master cylinder on it, and I also put the rear upper control arm brackets on to lift up upper control arms a little bit, so it has a better angle to help it dig in a little bit. I'm not expecting miracles out of it, maybe a little bit, and that's the rear end is something I got to address down the road a little bit. But the biggest thing I did is put the new reverse manual valve body 350 trans in it. Now, the old trans seemed like it was doing pretty good. Not too bad, but I had this transmission, I wanted to put it in. It's like, okay, I got a little bit of time, I want to put it in, and with this combination of the motor, and see how much of a difference this makes. Well, go back to last season, one of the problems I was having was the RPMs. The best RPM I could pull out of this thing was like 58 to 6 grand. And I'm talking, at that time, now I could get more RPM out of it. I could physically put my foot on the gas and get the RPMs up, but it just kind of, I won't say it laid over it, but it kind of felt like, what I have to say, like the valves floating. It just was not pulling no more. So the top shift point I had was like 58.6, and I was going through the traps around 58, 59, somewhere around there. And I tried shifting it multiple times. In fact, the one time I put the shift light on at 65 just to see how, and it won't get up to 65 no matter what. I mean, it would, but it would not pull. It was horrible. So putting this new transmission in, and also a new torque converter, which the stall speed is about the same as my old torque converter, but it's a better converter. It's definitely a better converter, a little bit more expensive. It's not a real expensive one. It's not a custom, stall speed converter or nothing like that. It came off the shelf, but it's definitely a better torque converter. And the stall speed's around 37 to 4, somewhere around there. That's about what my old one was. So that was in it. So again, back to the problem, I couldn't get a lot of RPM out. And I messed around, it's usually, the cam is a solid roller cam, solid lifter cam, solid roller cam. And that should have no problems pulling to 65. It should, in fact, that's probably, you're around 55, you're probably just getting into its power band, kind of. So I wasn't using the cam up to its capability. So anyhow, so I was messing around. You read and you hear things like, fuel is a big thing. Is it getting fuel? Well, it's getting plenty of fuel. Fuel pressure is good. It's a 750 brawler on it. It should be getting enough fuel, not to hamper the RPM, I would say. Okay, so what else? Everybody says, well, it depends on the cam too. Well, the cam, like I said, it was a solid roller cam, and the lift is around, with the 1.6 rockers, it's around 610, 620, somewhere around there. Pretty good cam. So I should be pulling the RPMs. I just wasn't. Now I got pretty good performance out of it. I still was, best time was 11:16 at 122, 123, somewhere around there, which is nothing to laugh at. So I was getting some decent performance out of it, but the RPMs just was not there. So, and again, talking to some people, I was just, well, hold on a second. Talking to people, and there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to get good RPM out of this motor. Again, I could put my foot on the gas pedal, make it go up that high, but just it was like going against a wall. It just was not moving. So trying to figure out what it was, and I already did experiments on the street. Put it up to 65. I couldn't. Again, going up to 65 it just wasn't going. It was just revving, not going nowhere. So it's kind of a loss, and I actually kind of thought that it might be the heads, maybe not letting it breathe. good enough because they are aluminum heads or Chinese head. I say decent performance, you know, nothing special, but decent performance. So I thought maybe the heads were not letting it flow that much to get the best horsepower out of it, if that makes sense. Again, the cam's good, the fuel's good. So what else do I have to search for? So this time what I did was I wanted to go out after I took the initial test drive with it to make sure everything was working good. I took it out and I put the camera on the tack. And I set the tack at 6,000 RPM, so I know about where I was, but I didn't have to look at the tack. I don't want to look at the tack. So the place where I tested it in Mexico, the street was, it was nice, a nice little test area, but it wasn't very long. So set up the camera. Dorkiest setup I ever had, like hanging around my neck, which still didn't come out very good. But I aimed it right on the tack. So to my surprise, it hit 6,000 and kept on pulling to 65, and I left out of it just because I ran out of space. So it kept on pulling at least 64, 65. I mean, it went up fast. It's like, so what I conclude from all this is that the torque converter and the trans, mainly the torque converter, was keeping me from it pulling. Supposedly the torque converter sometimes just will not get the power to the back wheels. If it's, you know, it was a relatively cheap torque converter. I think it was doing a little bit better when I first got the car on the road, but maybe it was a trans, but I think that, I mean, trans great. I love the way it shifts. I love new trans, but I think the torque converter has something to do with not getting the power out that I want. So I'm really excited about this upcoming season. You know, I'm still going to be fighting with the traction issue, which I do have to address. Not sure which way I'm going to go yet. I have a couple ideas. You know, I don't want to tub the whole car out and do the whole, I don't want to rip it apart. This is a good street car. I want to keep it that way. Not that tubs make it not a street car. Maybe mini tubs or something. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm also thinking about a torque arm. Torque arm would be real. My son has an F body with torque arm, and he gets like 1.3 60-foot times. So that's pretty decent. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I do have to address that. But with that being said, I got high hopes for the season. I really think if I can get out of the hole somewhat like I did last year at least, I should definitely get in the 10s. You know, I picked up about, you know, maybe 500, 600, 700 RPM, and I'm really ecstatic. Again, take a look at the video sucks. Sorry, it just stinks, but I don't even know if you're going to be able to see it good, but I'll put the video up and take a look at it. Okay, so I want to keep you up to date on what's going on. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends, leave a comment. You know, if you have any ideas about the RPM, let me know. Yeah, so that's all for today. I'll talk to you later.